Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. What I have here for you today is the Ganzo Multi-Tool G302B. GearBest did send me this for review, full disclosure. Also, if you are interested in this multi-tool at any time, you can go ahead and check out the description box where you can find the features and specs as well as a link to GearBest. We could get it right now for 30 bucks. Really good deal on an already low price. So I think for your money you're getting a pretty amazing deal. I've been testing this out for a couple of days and I'll go ahead and show you a couple of tests here in a moment. But what you're looking at is the top of the line Ganzo Multi-Tool. It's their flagship. It is all 440C stainless steel covered with this nice black finish. Very durable, very solid. It feels really good. It's a good size. When I'm going to do a comparison, I'm probably going to compare it to what I have right here, and that is the Gerber suspension. Although it's a little bit bigger than the Gerber suspension, most of the shape and features are closely related. I think they were even trying to copy a little bit of the figure. So I think I got a fair comparison here with the Gerber suspension compared to the Ganzo 302 here. Again, you can see the similarity in shape, almost in size. You can see that this Ganzo is just a hair bigger, actually a little bit bigger, but feature set's pretty similar, price pretty similar. However, that's where the similarities end. Holding this in my hand, here's the case that you get with the Gerber. Here's the case you get with the Ganzo. You can see big difference. Typical Velcro, single stitched. There's the back. Ganzo. Now it's bigger, but you can see material a little bit better. Has a button instead of Velcro. Actually, I prefer a snap over the Velcro. You get all these additional bits with the Ganzo because you can go ahead and mount this on there and screw and screw and screw. Pretty good, and it uses the standard size bits, by the way. I'll go ahead and see if I could pull one of these guys out. See? So you could use all your standard bits with this guy as well as the ones that came with this. This case is big enough to accommodate both the tool and the bits. You could see, it's kind of hard to see because it's so dark. Let me see if I can get my light. There we go. You can see they added a little pouch on the side that you go ahead and put this in there, and then you could go ahead and put your tool in there. Everything fits into the case. Time to show the Gerber away, and let's look at all the really cool things as far as tools are concerned. Again, I think it looks a lot sharper and better right off the bat. I like how they have the red Ganzo logo right there. You can see it's not just painted on it, it's actually embossed in there really deep, almost like multi-layer. There's a piece of steel, it's cut out of the steel, and then there's another piece that's painted red underneath it, so really neat there. Let's now, tools are accessible without having to open up the multi-tool, which is pretty cool. So you have instant access to the knife right there. What's the size? You know, I didn't measure the size. Shame on me. So we'll have to go ahead and, looks like the cutting area, the useful area on this guy is 2 inches. Looks sort of like a drop point right there. It locks. See that? So you just pull back on this, it unlocks it, locks it. There is a teeny bit of up and down play. Very typical with a multi-tool. Very typical, so don't get all bent out of shape about it. Fine edge, hollow grind. You even have a sharpening choil right there. Pretty neat. Is it sharp? Well, we could test that out. I have my notes from my last video ready. Wow. Okay. Other things I do to test it is shave. I'm a hairy guy, so as far as shaving, it is getting some hair there, but it could do a little better. So it is pretty sharp. Last test, does it hang on my nail? Yep, sure does. Now the tools, here's my first criticism. can be a little bit hard to get sometimes. I mean, each one has a way of getting it out without having to have the other one there. Like this one has the thumb stud. The next one, there is a nail neck in here. And you get a can opener, bottle opener, and a wire stripper. There we go. So, got a wire stripper. Close that up. Next tool actually has the proper way of getting a tool out. Just a little lanyard thing there. Next item. I don't think there's a way of... Oh, there it is. Nail neck. Alright, I have no nails. So I'm going to have to take this other tool out to get to the other one. Alright, so there we go. So the next tool is just a little flathead screwdriver. And then the last one, you got scissors. Now we can go ahead and test the cutting ability of the scissors. Alright, so cuts fine. And those lock, all these tools lock. Whichever one you have up there, it locks. Just with that guy right there. On the other side, we have a saw. Works really good. Tested it here on a piece of plywood. It definitely saws. Really good. Next thing we got, you have a awl. It does have a sharp edge right here. You could sort of cut into leather, make a leather hole, and you could even pull through some like leather stitching or whatever you want through that hole there. Really nice. Then the next thing is the bit holder, which I'll get to in a moment. And then the last item, I'm going to go ahead and throw the bit holder back in. The last item right here is a serrated edge. So if you want to cut through rope or something like that, you have a separate serrated edge instead of having one blade that's a combo. You have a dedicated blade. You have your fine and your serrated. So really nice touch. Next thing, let's talk about the bit holder. Again, you can see each tool you can pull out. Each tool can lock in place. Again, with that same lock right there. And what you do is you just go ahead and pull your bit holder and you attach that first, and then you go ahead and select your bit for whatever you're planning on unscrewing and screw. Now we're done screwing around. We'll go ahead and fold that back, and then we'll pull out the main tool here. That's the pliers. Plier head is spring loaded. Has an external spring, which I actually prefer the spring to be internal or no spring at all. So that's this one thing that I'll give the Gerber suspension, is they have it internally. However, if the spring does break in that type of head, then you can't do anything about it. Whereas with the external, you could go ahead and replace that spring, probably from something in the hardware store. So there is a good and downside to that. So the head, you got your fine needle nose pliers, and you got your area here where you could go ahead and grab nuts and tighten those down. And then you have your wire cutter right there, and you have removable carbide blades right there for your wire cutters. So you can remove them, replace them, or sharpen them, and definitely way better than what's on the Gerber suspension right here. You can see that the heads are very, very similar in size, except with the Gerber suspension, you can't remove those wire cutters. Now you have some other nice touches that definitely make it better than our comparison here. Is you have a whole bunch of jimping up and down right here, so it helps you get a good grip and maintain control of the tool. Another thing I noticed is, look how wide the Gerber suspension is when the head is open compared to how wide this is when you close it. I want you to see. So one of the things that I really hate about this guy is how far you got to have your hand open to have the head open, whereas this one starts out a lot closer. However, it's always plus and minus. You could see that the plier head on the suspension opens up a little more than the Ganzo right there. Time to wrap things up. So do I recommend it? Yes. However, the one big criticism, my only big criticism, is that these heads, the head does not open that far. So if you're trying to grab really big nuts, it might not get around it. So be aware. Be aware. As a matter of fact, let's measure so you know. So you know, the widest this is getting open is about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch. So this is 3/4 of an inch right up here. So grab big nuts, you got a big problem. Other than that, awesome tool. I love everything else about it. Highly recommend it. Link is in the description box below. $29.99. I'm calling it $30 on the picture, the thumbnail, or in the title or whatever. It's $30 for a limited time though. It looks like they only have like 100 pieces left. So price might go up, might not. I don't know. All depends on what GearBest wants to do. Alright, well thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day or evening. Take care. Bye.